Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session that is designed to break through this feeling of limitations or frustrations. And I was working with a client that, because of certain confinements that they felt in a previous relationship, but also in a previous workspace, they were very vigilant about coercion and control, and anything that felt restrictive that actually created a feeling of wanting to get away from that. And there were certain situations that weren't that restrictive, but they focused on the restrictions and the feeling of being trapped or having a lack of options rather than all of the options within that thing. And a lot of people feel this desire to want to do things when they want to do it and when they need to do it. But actually, not everything needs a huge level of desire. Do you need 100% motivation to do your laundry or to brush your teeth? Like, sometimes just doing it, even if you're not motivated, is just a better way of doing it because it's more efficient. You just do the thing. So there's two key components to this. One is this feeling of being able to do what's necessary, but with discernment. Just because something can be done doesn't mean it needs to be done. So it's really important that, discipline is dovetailed with the discernment. That's the right word. I was going to say determination, but discipline with discernment. And at the same time, feeling that there is infinite possibilities even within a restriction. And there's two key metaphors, actually three key metaphors that I use here, but one of them is this idea of musical notes. There are only so many musical notes, and yet infinite different music can be created. And there's a couple of other ones, but I won't spoil that for you. But if you like metaphorical hypnotherapy sessions, I think you'll get a lot of value from this. And it encourages people to explore beyond their limitations into new possibilities and to make the most of whatever limitations there are. I make a reference, for example, to the fact that 10,000 years from now, it might be possible for humans to live on multiple different planets. Right now, the only planet it's possible to live on is Earth. But most people don't feel trapped on Earth. We just make the most of everything we can do on Earth. And go back a few hundred years where it was rare or unusual for people to, sail to a different part of the world. Most people made the most of their town, their village, their country. So there's always lots of choices and possibilities, even within a perceived restriction. So it's designed to be very empowering and for you to make the most of what you have, but also to venture beyond and explore new possibilities and opportunities. I think you'll like this one. So find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that slow, long, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense of release as you start to let go of anything that is getting in the way of you going deeper relaxed. Maybe tension, thoughts, stress or worries. Just allow it to leave your body in the outward breath. Breathing in relaxation and exhaling tension, as you feel a wonderful sense of letting go, and use the power of your imagination to imagine how good it would be if you were exploring a secret garden. And maybe think of that secret garden with flowers and trees, all different plants, and maybe things to do in that garden. As you imagine that garden, imagine it on a sunny day, blue skies. Imagine the warmth of the sun on your skin. I want you to get a sense that this is a walled garden. And in this walled garden, there's so much that you can do. You could lie in the sun, smell the flowers, plant some new flowers. You could relax and meditate. You could climb a tree or pick some fruit from a tree. I want you to get a sense that the walls of this garden are the restrictions, but there are endless possibilities of what you could do within the walls of those gardens. 10,000 years from now, maybe it's possible for humans to live on different planets, different parts of the galaxy. But nobody feels trapped on planet Earth. We focus on the infinite possibilities within the restriction. As you explore this garden, you realize there's so much you can do, but also that the walls may not be the end of what's possible. I want you to imagine exploring the garden and finding a hidden door behind some plant or ivy. The door was always there, but you weren't looking for it, or just didn't realize. So imagine standing in front of that hidden door. That means you get to explore beyond the limitations. I will count down from 5 to 1, and you will imagine opening this secret door and leaving the walled garden to new possibilities, knowing that you can always return to the garden, a garden of safety, security, and predictability whenever you choose. But the door represents a portal to possibilities. All those things you haven't done, haven't tried, don't know if you like, are good at. All of those possibilities exist beyond. So standing in front of that secret door, 5, just putting your hand on the handle, 4, turning the handle, 3, opening the door, 2, walking through the door, and 1, closing the door behind you. And you've left the secret garden. I want you to imagine you are now in a grand open hall. It confuses you. How could you be outside and then inside? But this is just your imagination. And this open hall is a place of creation, of infinite potential. And this hall is filled with musical instruments. want you to get a sense that it also has blank canvases and vibrant colors. This hall is a hall of creativity, the elements of art, music, and creation. And here, perhaps you realize something profound. All the music that has ever been composed and ever will be composed has come from just a handful of notes. And yet from these notes, infinite symphonies have been created. Entire lifetimes of expression have emerged. And all the greatest paintings, every masterpiece, every breathtaking work of art have been formed using a finite palette of colors. Yet no two works are ever truly the same. Imagine reflecting on the meaning you give this. And perhaps the conclusion is that even within limitation and restrictions, there are infinite possibilities. Whatever the confines, the rules, there are always choices. And just as artists and composers are not bound by their tools, you too are never bound by your circumstances. I wonder if we can plant a seed of an idea in the garden that is your mind, that no matter where you are, no matter what the situation, you always have choices. Even in moments where it feels like your options are few, your mind is vast. And even when the world presents obstacles, you carry within you the ability to navigate, to pivot, and to create new directions and pathways. You get a sense that you always have the power to say yes when you choose, and no when it serves you. And not out of fear, not out of reaction or obligation, but out of discernment. Feel this seed being planted deeply in your mind, starting to sprout and grow like a new plant in your secret garden. And with it comes a new sense of clarity and knowing that you do not need to react impulsively or be swept away by external forces. You are the author of your life. You are the composer of your music. You are the artist creating your masterpiece. When it feels the seed of an idea is forming a belief that the more you think about it, the truer it becomes, let me know by nodding your head. Somewhere in this hall is another door, not the door you entered, but a different door. A solid door. And perhaps you felt frustration before. Maybe it's a feeling of being stuck, as though the door would not open, or it was locked and you didn't have the key. But perhaps you realize something new, something different. What if frustration is not a wall, but a clue, a sign that you are close to a breakthrough? Think of a musician struggling with a melody. Sometimes the struggle leads to an insight, a breakthrough that leads to a masterpiece. Writer's block is only frustrating if the block doesn't lead to a breakthrough. Every great writer experienced the block. The door was locked until it wasn't. And maybe it isn't desire that's the resource that you need. Maybe it's discipline, determination, or persistence. The willingness to do what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. Find within you the discipline to move forward. To either accept that the door is locked and find another door, or find the keys to the door so the door now opens. I want you to get a sense that from now on, frustration will make you smile, letting you know you're so close to a breakthrough. And the excitement, perhaps, is the very key you're looking for to give a new perspective, a new way of doing something in a different way that means you're doing it on your terms. Your choices are the additional ingredient to make it work for you rather than against you. To do what you need to do when you need to do it. To act with precision, with wisdom, with intent. And to respond not from habit, but from this deep, unshakable clarity. And what if that door in front of you is no longer an obstacle, but an invitation? So place your hand on the handle, and the door that was locked now opens easily. But what's interesting is when you walk through that locked door, it takes you back to your secret garden, back to where you already started. But back with more wisdom and back on your terms, still in the walled garden, but this time of your choosing. I want you to get a sense that beliefs and thoughts are changing now. Things may stay as they were, but your perception of them will evolve, will change. New meanings, new associations, opening up endless doors from the walled garden within your mind. Scan your body for what feels different, perhaps a lightness, an energy, a shift, additional clarity, and hold on to those feelings. As we return to the present, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Connect fully with the here and now as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.